Hello, hi, and welcome to my CPL stream of week 1. Today we're gonna have some tier 2 games, only just 3 matches between R.A.T.S and SKT4. So let's get into it. The maps for week 1 is game 1 is Circuit Breakers, Old Classic. Game 2 will be on near Salford, which is really one of the newer but very popular maps, and many people sad to see disappear from Aladdin. And then we have Shakura's Temple for game 3, if it goes to that. So let's see who will be playing today. So our first game is going to be on So versus Hangs. So playing Terran and Hangs playing Zerg. Then we're going to have Miniko as Zerg and Taranak as Terran. And we're going to round up with Hattrick Cake playing Zerg and another 2 playing Protoss. You will notice these are all Zerg matchups. That's simply because I'm a Zerg player, so I feel like I have more to say about Zerg matchups. Don't know the others all that well. Okay, so let's get straight on into the first game. So in the top left, as the purple Terran, we have So. And in the top right, as the brown Zerg, we have Hangs. As always, good to see Zerg is in fact making more than 5 drones, or 4 drones. And So's producing SCVs, as we like to expect. Oh. Looks like they had some good latency. Means we get some good games. Never nice to have games ruined by really bad lag. Some lag is okay, you know. I find up to like turn rate 16 to be quite acceptable. 14 is okay, 12 is and below that you kind of really start having to rethink your game plan. We do see a supply depot coming down for So. Please let me know if all the volumes are okay. Zerg on this map, so Circuit Breakers. So Zerg is gonna, Hang's gonna scout south towards this natural. So it'll be a while before he's able to get an Overlord at his base. It can actually be quite difficult to get the Overlord outside here. We do see that Hangs is in fact going for looks like 9 pull speed, I presume. We'll see if he takes off gas. Should see 6 links coming up now. Drone Scout is coming out, and he will get to scout him right away and know exactly where to send his links. So on the other hand, it's gonna take quite a while to scout this. We see the Overlord going in. You know, when you have the links coming out fast, you can make sure that, well, the links will, if you see a Marine here, the links will keep that Overlord safe. But we see links coming out. Hangs knows exactly where So is now, and his links are heading straight there, and So still has absolutely no idea that this is coming. The SCV does look like the SCV will be able to intercept. Marine taking that drone. It doesn't look like there's really a Sim City that can block this. You don't really expect this very often from Zerg to just come straight up with a 9 pull. And here come the Lings. There's no bunker down. The Marines are out of position. Lings get an immediate surround. He's gonna choose to go into the main instead of attacking the command center. SCVs are being pulled. Second Marine goes down. instantly. So now it's basically up to these SCVs to fight the next Marine down. Speed is done, and this is absolutely crazy damage here. And yeah, it looks like this is going to be a very, very short game indeed. It's going to be incredibly difficult to come back from this scenario. We'll see if So can hang on a bit longer, but he's really lost tons and tons of SCVs. Bunker gets cancelled, and that will in fact be GG. So, hi Cube. This game, I don't know exactly when, but it would have been sometime during last week. So, game 1 there, going to Hangs. So, very quick game indeed. Just completely taking So by surprise with that 9 full speed, and getting into the main, taking out the Marines, and just finishing off So right off the bat. So let's see if So can bring it back in game 2. So once again, we have, in this time on Silphid, we have So on the left side. What is this? 5, 6, 7, I guess about 8 o'clock as a white Terran, and at 4 o'clock, I think, is our blue Zerg Hangs. We do see the Overlord going up to the natural. Not gonna get it right away, but it should be no problem getting back down to the cliff over here. And this time, it looks like So is out for revenge. He's sitting his SCV out very early, and this looks like he's probably gonna do a proxy racks in the middle, I presume. Either that, or he's just going, yep. So it looks like we're gonna have some counter cheese. Maybe expecting that there's no way that Hangs is gonna 9 full speed like that 2 games in a row, and probably expecting him to do a regular 12 hatch, and it does it. Okay, so Hangs is sending out a very early scout, so maybe he could just be maybe one step ahead, and this is not just 8 racks, this is going to be a BBS, so going to be a huge amount of pressure on Zerg right away. Hi Coop, yes, I do play myself. I'm like sort of low D rank. I now play Zerg. Okay, but he doesn't see the proxy racks yet. He will go into the main and probably suspiciously scout that there's no SCVs producing, there's no barracks coming up, and this is going to be really difficult to defend. You can see Marines already halfway done. Not a long distance to the natural here, and the pool's only just gotten started. So it looks like we're probably going to be in for another very quick game here. Perhaps in game 3, if So does actually take this one, maybe we'll have a gentleman's agreement. But it doesn't really look like. Okay, so it looks like Hangs was about to pull some drones there. The second Overlord here does see that there's nothing out just yet. These Marines are not going forward to try and pressure this hatchery, nor is there any bunker going down. So it does look like Hangs is okay. He made one more drone. Like, really do want to. Oh, and wait, how many lings is he making? He's making 2 sets of lings. That's definitely not going to be enough against 5 Marines. And SCVs are out, and it looks like, and the bunker is going to go down. So we need to see some drones pull very quickly here. If Hangs wants a chance at saving his natural, they do come in. The bunker is almost done, but there's a lot of Marines here. The Lings die almost instantly. Tons of Lings going down. 4 Marines in the bunker, and that's going to be GG. Wow, so 2 very quick games there. Both players just kind of going all out aggressive right from the bat. And yeah, basically just returning in kind there. So we will in fact go to game 3 in this match between So and Hanks. And let's see how this last game will go down. And this is going to be on Shakura's temple. In the bottom left, as blue Terran this time, we have So. And in the top right, we have Hanks as the orange Zerg. So this is one of the maps that's not on the ladder. It's quite a big 4-player map. We do the Overlord deciding to go across the natural straight for the nearest main, which will work out in this case. He should be able. I think he should be able to get it over to natural cliff in a safe spot in time. Normally you would, yeah, most of the time Zergs prefer to just send the Overlord straight to the nearest natural. Hi Hattrick Cake, how's it? Can a depot or pylon block to the main entrance? I think it can. I think you can actually block. I'm not sure exactly how tight it is. But yeah, one thing you can do is, I think it's only 2 or 3 blocks wide, so you can definitely block it with something, though I don't know what exactly. So we do see Hank sending out fairly, Scout's going out at a pretty normal time, along with a regular 12 hatch opening. And so it looks like we will see that gentleman's agreement to not cheese or go overly aggressive every single game. So we should see some macro play out of these players in game 3 here. Yes, I'm going to be costing you a bit later. Overlord changing direction here, probably doesn't want to head straight into the main. He sees that So is not in the top right, and probably is aware that there's a risk of this Overlord just dying to the first Marine, which is a really horrible space to be in as Zerg. Did I play well week 1? Not my best. Oh, Hattrick Cake. Okay, I'm not going to answer that because I'm casting these games. Or I'm not going to repeat what Hattrick Cake is saying about his games. And try not to look myself. Okay, so So's SCV is heading up to Scout. It's going to be 3 hatch opening for Hanks. Old school style. Gas coming down immediately. So usually this would tends to be Mutalisks coming up afterwards. Is banking those lava. Going to make 4 links. 6 links? Drone? Let's see. Drone. So it's going to be 4 links after the 3 hatch. And meanwhile, So is putting down his command center. Has some Marines out front. SCV is busy scouting the main. Sees the Lings out. Lings are going to go and chase the SCV for a while. But the bunker does come down immediately. So just trying to be extra safe and protecting his natural from any Ling floods. just by putting that bunker down there. So the refinery is down after our first barracks, or after the command center really, and this is going to be straight into factory. So this is not something you see very often either. One barracks, command center, and then straight into factory. He probably wants another 2 SCVs on the gas there. The SCV is going to be chased out of the main. Layers coming up, and we'll see shortly which tech Hanks decides to go with. If he is going to go with lurkers, it would be, or I guess you'd probably want to go Hydras in this case. So putting, against a factory first. But the sunken does come down. I don't know if I don't think he could possibly have scouted the factory or the gas. So just putting a sunken down to be extra safe, and this will definitely come in handy once that vulture comes out. We do just see more drones being made. So, so I missed that. So the Hydra den is down, and he is going for lurker. While it's going to be basically this is a kind of like a 1-1-1 out of So, except it's after the command center, I think. So very interesting style here from So, just trying to get all of his tech up as fast as possible, and probably gonna try and defend with. Oh, okay. So he's going for. He's not gonna build a Wraith, and he's gonna get his command center. So that indicates to me he's probably gonna go for dropships and try and drop in the main. Meanwhile, Hanks has decided to take a very sneaky base here in the bottom right main. Gonna just hope that doesn't get scouted, and if it doesn't get scouted, he'll be in a very, very advantageous position later on. If it does get scouted, he could get easily punished. But okay, so this is very interesting. So the academy is down, and we see So's going kind of like for a bit of everything here. There's a full group of medic marine, and they're gonna go move out, taking care of some of the lings outside the base. Gonna start to put pressure on Hanks, force him to build some units. I'm not sure if he's where that scan was, if he's seen that the tech is actually gonna be lurkers and not mutalisks. If he knows that the lurkers aren't finished yet, he doesn't have to worry about lurker traps. But these are going to be done pretty quickly, and so we see that one of the creep colonies were in fact cancelled, just saving a bit of money. Now he knows that his lurkers are out, but it looks like they're going to go around, and they're going to go around, probably going to head down to defend the space. But these marines are getting pretty dangerous here. There are 2 sunkens and quite a bit of lings. There's 5 lings at the main base here. Might really want to morph some of these Hydras into lurkers. There they go. I think if So went right now, he has a chance to bust this, but maybe 10 marines probably isn't enough, even with stim and range, to quite get through that. The range is only just finishing now. Quite delayed because of the decision to go get the starport very quickly. But this could pay off quite well for So. He's gonna have his vessels out incredibly early, so he wouldn't have to worry about any kind of traps. So heading up to the top right, kind of falling for Hanks' bait here. Well, there are 2 lurkers 2 Hydras to block the ramp. They're too late, and too late to morph on the ramp. They're gonna take them out, and So must be wondering what is going on with the fact that okay, well, I guess he thinks he must think he's in a really great position, and he would be if it wasn't for this extra base out here. And meanwhile, it looks like Hang's tried to make an attempt to get into the natural, but 3 bunkers and a turret as well. I'm definitely not going to be able to push that through. Or definitely not going to be able to break that now. Oh, you mean that? So there was some lurkers under there? Yeah. Okay, so Hang's just gonna take the nearby base. I call this the choke third, as opposed to the open third. He's gonna spot this attempt, but this might be too much. Yeah, this is gonna be too much. There's lurkers coming in from behind. It's gonna burrow. Will he be able to kill all the marines? No scan coming down, losing a lot of marines for free there. And he's just gonna move out. So it looks like when Hangs does get the money to put the hatchery down, he will be up to 4 bases, and it looks like this base down here is still unscouted by Hangs. By So, I mean. Meanwhile, Tech is very far along away. Well, he's very far along. Science vessels and tanks are out for So. So he's gonna have a much easier time and feel safer moving across the map, not having to worry about running into just a ton of hold position lurkers. There are some on the high ground here. Gonna have to move those back. Tanks do outrange. Unbarring, getting a marine there. First irradiate coming down. Looks like Hangs is waiting for him to siege, but So is not gonna have any of that. He's happily just moving through with unsieged tanks against lurkers, which is definitely the way you want to do it on the middle of the map, especially. So although Hangs took this early base, it's still not saturated at all, really. There's 2 drones, probably going to start mining soon. He is mining the gas, but just 33 drones with the 4th base coming up. I think Hangs definitely wants to get those saturated. But meanwhile, tanks are already outside the base. There's 2 vessels. The Dark Swarm is out, and it's gonna be able to push Terran back for now. But this does look a bit awkward to me, because if So can manage to irradiate all these defilers, then and he's actually moving his only defiler outside the base, the only one I can see, and he's gonna go around for a counterattack. But So is diligently checking the natural to see what's there. He sees that there's nothing there. It looks like he does spot the counterattack, and we do see that Hydra range is finished. There's lurkers burrowed in the natural here. That very well placed Dark Swarms is going to do terrible damage to the natural. It's going to have to bring everything back, and it's going to be really difficult for Terran to defend against this. He decides it's not worth bringing his main army to defend it. He's going to try and instead just wait for the Dark Swarms to wear away and then deal with the lurkers. And in the meantime, he's going for a counterattack at the natural. There's no lurkers, but there are defilers out. Some Dark Swarms go down. He's gonna have to move back out of those swarms. But we do see that that everything in the natural is cleaned up, so not too much damage. I don't think. It doesn't look like So took any economic damage. He still has pretty much all of his SUVs in the natural. And So, keeping on the pressure, it's going to rotate around and head to the 4th base, which I believe So thinks is the 3rd base. and we do see that the hidden third base here is droning up nicely. So the Hang's probably going to start droning up in the third base over here. Checking to see the top right, still sees nothing there. Perhaps wondering how is Hangs supporting this kind of Hydra Lurker Ling Defiler army when the third that he thinks is the third was actually pretty late. And we do see scans going all over the place. Well, scans going down in the natural, radiating those defilers. Quite a few vessels out. Vessel numbers are getting high. I don't know if there is a spire, so there's no Scourge to actually deal with the vessels. So unless they get hit by Hydras, there's really not much to stop them. So Hangskin's going to try and move out and chase away this army. There is Defilers going down. Oh, sorry, Dark Swarm's going down. The Marine Medic's going to have to run away for now. One vessel gets sniped by the Hydras, but it looks like all the Defilers are going to go down for now. So yeah, so it's going to so he's going to have to remake those and reinforce. So we do see that some Marines have gone down to the bottom right. So probably suspecting that that's where Zerg's other base is. Ultralisk Cavern is down. Chitinous plating on the way. And now that these 4 bases are completely up and running, we might see Ultralisk come down soon, but there's a drop coming in here. In range of the Sunken and Lurker is going to be able to stop those Marines from being unloaded so easily, and that dropship's going to head out and maybe try do a drop in the main or at the third. Zergling's coming down to reinforce at this hidden base, and now defending is now going to get a lot harder for Hangs, as Zo can just keep his army right in between these two bases, or in between Hang's side of the map, and cut off most reinforcement, or cut off any army moving across the map. There is Nidus, so that's going to have to be the way forward. Hang's trying to take the natural for a 5th base, but without putting some Lurkers and Defilers up there first. That's going to get taken out pretty easily. The Lurkers are down off the ramp. Some reinforcements coming in just in time. Defilers gets irradiated very quickly. Lurkers are in position and does get the Swarmer. Another nice swarm. These Marines are going to be pushed back out of the main. So nice reaction there by Hangs to defend that base. Meanwhile, you see some Vultures taking out, consuming the Defiler there. So Ultralisks are coming out, and since we're seeing Vultures down, we might have, I'm guessing we might be a mech switch coming down soon. No mech switch. So he's just wanting to make the most out of, spend most of his gas on vessels and just making the most out of the factory, producing some Vultures. We haven't engaged in the middle. Just not enough Zerg here to deal with those. To deal with such a large Marine army, and so doing a very good job just controlling the whole entire center high ground of the map here. More Defilers and Irradiates going down. These vessels getting good value. These Scourge are finally out. I think one connected there. These Hydras are going to get picked off by the Marines. They really don't. Ooh, 2 vessels going down. Hydra's luring the Marines away from the vessels, allowing those Scourge to come in and just pick them off. So Meanwhile, so for upgrades, we have 2-1 for Terran, and it's one melee, 2 armor for Zerg. So both players keeping up nicely with each other's upgrades. The third has been taken, is going to be attacked here. There's quite a small group of Hydras, single Ultra moving down. Unless these units start moving in to deal with this, they're going to be, this base could end up, or Hangs could end up doing a lot of damage, but main army reinforcing from behind is going to clean this up. One Ultra here, taking out quite a few of these SCVs, and that should be going down quite soon. Some more Lings and Ultras coming down the map. I don't know if this is going to be enough for the Terran army, but we see a lot more Ultras starting to come down. So this many Ultras, he's going to need to bring on a lot more of his army, and these Ultras might be able to clean up all of. Yeah, looks like they're going to clean up most of the Marines. Finally, the rest of the reinforcements coming in to deal with these Ultras. The Radiates really saving the day there, dealing the bulk of the damage to those Ultralists. Dark Swarm coming down, and it's just going to be really annoying to deal with this Ultra while they're evacuating some of the SCVs. The Filer gets irradiated. And meanwhile we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, soon to be 6, 7, 8, so we should have 8 hatcheries of production, and a lot of barracks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 barracks. But Hangs now that he's got into producing so many Ultralisks, yeah, cows are strong. Huge amount of Ultraling. He's just starting to expand all over the map. He's taken another base at 12, taking another main. Probably will eventually get the natural as well. And so we did see. Oh, the drop shot. I was wondering where those went to. So looks like, yeah. So is struggling to get up another expansion. The main expansion is mined out completely, so is the natural. So it's really just one mining base here to Zerg's 5, soon to be 6 mining bases. So it's a really tough position for Terran here to deal with just such high amounts of Defiler Ultra Ling production. So there's a Radiates going down on those Ultras, but I'm sure there will soon to be more on the way. The vessel count has increased quite a bit. We have 7 vessels out here at the moment, but I really think So needs a bigger army here to be able to move out on the map. Yeah, so he looks like he's gathering up his army, gonna get ready to put pressure on the bottom right here. But there are 4 lurkers, a couple sunkens, and an ultralisk. No defiler here at the moment. Nidus is all the way down on this side. Definitely opportunities here to just irradiate all these lurkers and move in with his marines, but decides against that. Moving back to the middle of the map, reinforcements coming down across the middle. We have kind of like a bit of 2 ships passing in the night, but Hangs does. Looks like they seem to happen into each other, but this is really bad for So. He didn't have his army all gathered up together. Really difficult to move out. When you have those long arcs, long lines of units alongside one another, that's always going to favor the Ultralisks and Zerglings. And Now these ultras are getting irradiated, but they are doing quite a, those irradiates are in fact doing some damage to So's army as well. And here we're starting to see the flood of units just coming in to this expansion. There are no bunkers here. Defilers, lurkers, zerglings. It's going to be really difficult for this expansion to survive. And this is actually his only mining base. These SCVs being forced to retreat through the lurker spines. Vessels going down to Scourge. Vessel count reduced to almost 0. You can see Hangz's supply is way ahead, and I think this is going to be it for So. There we go, GG. Oops, I forgot to update the scores. So, well done to Hangs. Very well played by both players. And our next match is going to be Miniko versus Taranak. And yeah, and this will be another ZDT. Let's get straight into it. In the top right, we have Miniko as the green Zerg. Sorry, in the bottom left. Bottom right, we have Miniko as the green Zerg. And in the dark blue Terran, we have Taranak. Looks like we'll see Supply Depot coming down, which we do. Overlord on the way. And Miniko also choosing to send his overlord to the natural vertically. I personally like to send it across to here, just because it's almost impossible to get to the side safely if your opponent is there. SCV coming out for Taranak, and he's gonna scout Zerg first, so he'll see immediately that he's completely safe from any kind of early Zergling rush. Should feel completely comfortable putting down his command center if he chooses to go that route, or I guess not having to worry about Lings putting down a really fast bunker. and looks like command center will come down, but not quite yet. It's SCV coming out a little bit early. And on Minico side, we do see it's gonna be a 2-hatch play, as is quite common these days, or sort of now considered the standard. And we'll see if he's gonna go for Mutalisks or Lurkers. Minico finally seeing where Terran is, decides. Oh, I suppose he saw this Overlord quite a bit earlier. Not gonna send the drone into the main. Is it at this by around now? You know the Marine is out. The Marine running past, gonna try and pick that drone off while Minico isn't paying attention, but doesn't manage to get it. Just 2 lings out for Minico. It's just gonna chase that SCV around, try and get it out the base. See, we have one right-clicked and it's controlling the other one. So that SCV does go down before the lair is finished, and was not in the natural either. So it looks like Taranak is going to be quite in the dark as to whatever tech Minico decides to go with here. Either way, he's going to go for Turak's Academy. Also the most common opening, I think, or opening strategy, I think, from Terran these days. And we do see that the Hydralisk then is down, and Lurker aspect started, so gonna be 2-hatch Lurkers. So there's pretty much 2 ways you can play this. You can either try to use the Lurkers to get a 3rd base, just get them straight down to the ramp of another main, and then take quickly into Hive to take a 4th afterwards, and just kind of use those Lurkers to defend against any kind of Marine pressure, because Terran has to basically wait until his tanks and vessels are to really be able to break that kind of defense safely. Gonna send the Hydralisks back in. Does look like, oh, is he gonna see it? He does see the Hydras, so he definitely knows what's up now, and we'll have to see how Taranak decides to respond. He's going. The Hydra's arm does look like the Hydras are moving up, so to put pressure on the natural. But Taranak deciding to move his Marines out to counter that. Lurkers have started morphing, but Minico's Lurkers are morphing, but they have now already been spotted by the Marines here. But still gonna move right past them, so not putting his army on top of those Lurkers before they hatch. If these Lurkers get burrowed, there'll be quite an opportunity missed here by Taranak. Might get one, they're gonna burrow soon. These move, okay, and yeah, okay. So that's that was most of. Oh, there's no Marines in the bunker. Most of his army has been killed. This is gonna deal a lot of damage. There's no turrets, there's no detection here. Comsats aren't ready, and the Lurkers are just gonna push through forward, and before Taranak can get any kind of real defense up here. These Lurkers just leapfrogging there, not even leapfrogging, just unburrowing and pushing up. Now getting up onto the ramp. Reinforcements will be unable to come down. This is a really difficult position, and this could very well just be game over at this point. It's going to be virtually impossible to get anything out of this base for Taranak, and quite a few SCVs gone down already. Lings are being reinforced. They'll be able to take care of the natural. I don't think there are any more Marines, no more Marines in the bunker, and here come the Zerglings. They don't even have speed, but they don't even need it at this point. The amount of damage they'll be able to do, there's very few Marines left. Another one getting picked off there. SCV's being pulled back right into the lurkers. Ooh, no. Almost every single SCV going down for Taranak, and that's gonna be GG. Yeah. Very nicely executed by my Mini Co there. Just a pity for Taranak that he saw the lurkers and just wasn't able to get on top of the morphing lurkers before they hatched, and losing all of his Marines as those lurkers burrowed immediately, and in the end just having nothing left to defend his natural expansion with. So let's go into game 2. In the 12 o'clock, Purple Terran, we have Taranak. And in the 4 o'clock starting position as the Green Zerg, we have Minika. Playing under the ID of TJ Suited. So let's see this game if Miniko decides to go with another 2-hatch lurker opening, or is gonna mix it up with something else. And we'll see also how Taranak decides to respond to that aggressive opening low eco build in the previous game. Overlord heading over straight to the natural. We'll get a very quick scout off. Barracks going down. The usual times. Drone will go out. No, not quite yet. It's gonna go down to put down its expansion. So here we see the scouting drone going out. Standard 12 hatch. So it doesn't look like Taranak's was able to spot the Overlord there. Not 100% sure if Miniko spotted the SCV coming out. Don't think so, because his drone is still heading to the 8 o'clock base. But he will know soon enough exactly where his opponent is, as will Taranak. So we see 2-hatch build coming out again for Miniko. Taranak getting down this command center. Marine coming out, trying to get some damage on that Overlord, but misses the drone in the process. He's gonna come. like Miniko decided he's seen enough, doesn't want to lose that drone. Especially valuable when opening with just 2 hatcheries and then your gas. C4 links coming out. Gonna chase down this SCV. I'm trying to deny scouting as much as possible. It's another 2 links in the natural, so do have 6 links out. The SCV does go down, and so another SCV sent out, but I think these links should be able to intercept it, and Taranak realizing that, heading his SCV back home. Command center's done. There's only 4 Marines here in the natural, with 6 links coming up. SimCity is alright, I think. Okay, 5 Marines, there's an SCV out here, but there's no bunker. Definitely might have been an opportunity there for Miniko to get on top of the Marines, but now there's definitely too many for Miniko to do any real damage without losing all of his links. So speed is done, and Spire is on the way. So we're gonna see. So this will be 2 hatch Mutalisk, second gas down, starting to mine, and we'll see if he's gonna send out a drone to take his 3rd base soon enough. Academy almost done for Taranak. Producing quite well here producing Marines quite well here on 2 barracks. And Miniko just hanging out in front of the natural. Definitely wants to make sure that if Terran does move out, that he'll, like now, that he'll have time to build a sunken as needed. This Overlord can also see quite easily whether these Marines are in fact moving out, but it seems a little bit dangerous to move out with no medics. Okay, they are the medics, so they will have medic support, but they don't want to get them stuck there. I mean, if Taranak wants to put pressure on the space, he needs the medics there, but they are hanging out at the rally point. Finally, okay, they do get moving out. The Lings are gonna go behind the Marines. Might be able to pick off the medics. Gonna pick off 1 Marine, perhaps another, and now nothing to stop them from getting into the main. And now Taranak forced to retreat, to stim back and run back to his main. 1 SCV, 2 SCVs go down to these Lings, and this is gonna be cleaned up quite easily here. But that's by Taranak. But this should definitely have enough time. This should definitely, buys in more than enough time for Miniko to get his Mutalisks out, so he could defend these Marines if they were to push out. We have 5 meters heading out towards the natural. The 3rd hatchery was placed in the main, so deciding not to take the 3rd base immediately, and it's gonna come over to this cliff. Gonna try and get some SAVs. Turrets, there is 1 turret here, quite a few Marines, but struggling in this position to actually get in range, and a couple SCVs going down. I think that was 2 SCVs, more Mutalisks coming up. Now up to 7, which is enough to one-shot the SCV. Takes out that SCV building the turret. These stray Marines all getting picked off. And Miniko doing a lot of good damage here on this Marine army. One Marine is flying through those Marines, taking quite a bit of damage. And Miniko flying in, taking out another SCV building a turret. Is going to have to put another one on there. You can see this Taranak's very low on SCVs in his natural. I want to transfer some of those over as soon as you can. There they go. On the Zerg side of the map, though, Well, we do see another sunken. We still see very low drone saturation at the natural. He hasn't taken the third base either. So, in the long run, this might not be sustainable unless Miniko is gonna decide to really just pretty much all in with these Mutalisks. Because we don't see any tech coming up or a third base. Guess the SCV building the starport. He is managing to do a lot of damage with his Mutalisks here. Taking out all these turrets. So many SCVs gone down already. More Mutalisks being made here, being rallied up to the natural, and it looks like that Miniko's decided that he's just gonna win this game off of pure Mutalisks. Attack upgrade for them is almost done, and if he can, once he starts building up a big enough flux on either side of Taranak's bases, Miniko can harass on this side. As soon as the Marines come over, I suspect he's just gonna chill here for a bit. Doesn't have to wait at all. Doesn't have to wait for, fly all the way around the base. Can immediately go to harassing in the main, and taking lots of damage on his Mutalisks. Oh, losing that entire group. That's really moving the second group in here, taking out a lot of turrets. Natural is almost taken out, but I don't know if this is for losing an entire group of Mutalisks on the other side there. I don't think that this is quite enough just yet. There's still a huge force of Marines. It's going to be really difficult to micro against this. Let's see the Mutalisks going down very quickly now. Some more Marines being taken out, but this is very good trades for Taranak at the moment. And it's just continuous Mutalisk production, it would seem. No drones on the way. There are some Zerglings coming out, probably to spend his excess minerals. But the pure Mutalisk attack just not able to deal the damage, and now we see Taranak is really searching hard to see where that third base is, but just doesn't find it. Doesn't quite know that is that Miniko is actually just on 2 bases right now, and Miniko's forces are moving out about almost a group of Lings, almost a full group of Lings, a full group and a bit of Mutalisks. There's a lot of Marines here, but there's only one medic. There's Mutalisks flying right into the ideal arc, and these Mutalisks could get trapped here behind, between the reinforcements and the army coming out. And now the first vessel is out, and we should have a radiate ready very soon, and this is gonna put a very abrupt end to Miniko's Mutalisk harassment here. Miniko's still trying to do his best to get as much value by microing his Mutalisk, but it's going to be really difficult as soon as this irradiate comes down. Oh, it looks like irradiate's not in fact been researched yet, so there's still quite some time for Miniko to do damage, but I don't know if he's going to be. I don't think he might not be able to stop this third command center from coming down. Yes, in CX, yeah, he was controlling here at the natural when those other ones died. I think if you're doing that, like, you always want to just make sure to right-click on the mini-map away. Some Lings taking out a couple of Marines, but they will get cleaned up. Mutalisks coming in again. It's just down to just 8 Mutas now. Still dealing tons of damage on the SCVs. Marines really struggling to get in. Irradiate finally done. Gonna clean up these Mutas. Almost, just one left. effectively all gone now, and I think Taranak is finally stabilized after all this damage that's been dealt. You can even see after all this, Miniko is still only sitting on 18 drones to Taranak's 37 SCVs. No other tech in sight. It is an evolution chamber, but no upgrades done yet either. And just 1-0 Mutalisks. Just a handful of them, 2 Sunkens. I think that Taranak now knows that he's in really strong position. He's killed a lot of Mutalisks, managed to stabilize his bases. He's getting his 3rd up, and he's now going to go for an attack on the natural expansion. And as soon as all these reinforcements arrive, he should be able to break these quite easily. Miniko frantically throwing down some more creep colonies to morph, but that's going to be way too late. The Marines are already here. They're stimmed and firing. Drones are being pulled, but there's just way too many, and I think we will definitely see the GG here. And yeah, well played by both players. A lot of really great micro by Miniko and Taranak as well for just managing to just keep, despite taking all that damage from the Mutalisks, just managing to keep it together enough to take the win in the end. So we will be going to game 3 here. Okay, game 3. Miniko versus Taranak. Let's go. In the top right, in the blue again, we have Taranak. Sorry, the bottom right, we have Taranak. And in the bottom left, we have Miniko as the... What color is this? Is this light grey? No, it's not the light grey. I think it's just white. The Starcraft white foot zip is like very off-white white. So game 3 here on Shakur's Temple, once again. Map with this huge high ground in the middle, with no buildable terrain there, and lots of ramps in and out of the surrounding area between, basically, yeah, between every single base and onto that central high ground, and the sort of middle high ground areas over here. I believe the natural is on the lowest ground, these bases on the middle ground. And we'll see how both these players will approach this match or approach this game on this map. Overlord heading up here to the top left is not gonna find a base, and it looks like it's gonna be 9 full speed, and it's gonna be 8 links. So this is, I don't want to say this is all in, but this really has to do significant amount of damage. And it's going to be more links, so we see 12 links coming up, so Looks like we have a team strategy here for the for the ZVTs. Wait, I can't remember if they are in fact on the same team. But 2 Lings coming out, but there's 6 Lings already here. This Marine is too far from home. He's gonna have to run all the way back. Does move quick enough. 7 SCVs pulled. I'm gonna have to get behind those SCVs so that, but pulling his Taranak pulling his Marines too far behind the SCVs, not making those, preventing from those Zerglings from being bugged out. Yeah, now we see the SCVs drilling nicely through the Marines, but through the Zerglings, but all the Marines go down, and this Zerglings just doing tremendous damage to the SCVs. So it's Taranak now on just, I think 12. He's still got 12 SCVs, but that was a ton of damage. And we can see here on the minimap more Zerglings coming in. There's no bunker out just yet. And so another Marine gets picked off. We want to keep these SCVs in front so that they can, makes it much harder for the Zerglings to micro against. But with speed being done and the Zerglings on top of the barracks, this is going to be a very difficult position. The last Marine has fallen, so the Zerglings can now just move into the SCVs and just fight them head on. 1 Marine does come out. I'm gonna try and get into that bunker, but Miniko does not allow it. Everything goes down, and that's gonna be GG. Well done to Miniko, taking out Taranak with the sniper speedling bolt there. Very quick game. Perhaps didn't like the idea of Terran eventually allowing Terran to get into his tanks and to set up on those high grounds, which I have yet to play against, but I imagine would be incredibly frustrating. So far in our games today we have SKT4. No, sorry, we have SKT4 taking one of our matches. Hangs winning it over So, and we have one match for R.A.T.S with Miniko taking his match over Taranak, both 2-1. So we tied up 1-1 for today's matches, at least in terms of our player teams, but it looks like Zerg is doing very well. So let's go into our first game of our final match for the day, which will be Hatchery Cake versus another 2, and this is going to be a ZVP. Okay, game 1 between Hatchery Cake and another 2. Let's go. In the bottom right, in teal, we have another 2. And in the top left, we have Hatchery Cake. as the dark blue Zerg. Going to be a pylon scout for another 2. Would typically expect to see a forge coming down right after that. And as you see, it's going to be Overlord first for Hatchery Cake. And we'll see if he decides to go straight into his spawning pool or save up a bit, get a few more drones and get a hatchery. And spawning pool it is, so very typical overpool in this matchup versus the Forge Fast Expand. And this game's going to be in cross position, so going to be a long distance for any kind of rushes. Usually Zerg likes this, unless he wants to go for some kind of a Hydra bust. Or Zergling all-in. Zergling all-ins didn't really see all that often, unless Zerg manages to snipe the first cannon. Then it's quite common to just rally your hatcheries straight to the natural and just pump out Zerglings. Another 2's probe being quite annoying, but missing attention there for just a second, allowing Hatchery Cake to get his hatchery down. Slight delay there by the probe, but not too much. Meanwhile, the drone's going to come in. Going to see the cannon coming down soon enough. So it was Nexus before cannon, and now the gateway's coming down. Hatchery Cake scouting out the natural, sees exactly what's going on, and has probably seen this many times before. Wants to definitely get out there before that cannon finishes. Still see some drones coming out. So I'm guessing this was going to be to take the third and the other main. Interesting choice by Hatchery Cake to go for this main, which is a much shorter walking distance than across here. However, there is only really one way to go there. I mean, you can go around the center, but I guess if you don't want to have to deal with all the different paths, you can come through the 6 o'clock base and all that sort of thing. The scouting probe does go down, so I don't think another 2 has seen where this third base has gone down yet. Lair is on the way, so we'll probably see a 3-hatch spire is what this looks like that, this kind of timing. And on another 2's side, core is now finished, and so let's see what he decides to do with this first chunk of gas here. Cheers NCX, thanks for coming in, for stopping by. Zealot out, definitely wants to plug that little hole there. Not that there's a ton of links to come in at this moment, but definitely rather be safe than sorry. Okay, so first Zealot, another Zealot second Zealot gonna put some hits on the Zerglings, chase them out. On the Hatchery Cake's side, you see Zergling speed is almost done, and Spire is just started. And the Stargate is just about to finish for another 2 as well, but this Spire is still a very long way off. Makes me kind of worried for Hatchery Cake here. His overlords are going to be very exposed, and he doesn't have an overlord in the main to see the timing of the Stargates here either. So is hanging out, I'm guessing worried, you know, wants to be extra careful to watch if or when these zealots are going to come out. And here comes the first Corsairs on the way. Citadel has just finished, legs started, +1, ball on its way. So it's going to be his timing around that sort of 7:30 timing. No, it's not. It's gonna get a fast +1. And another two putting his Templar archives down really quickly. And only putting down one extra gateway at the moment. These speedlings gonna try and catch these zealots. They will have to back off as they get near to the cannon. Zealot numbers have built up. There's been no harassment from these zealots just yet, so it's banking up every single one so far. Corsair coming around, and I'm presuming it's been scouting, but it hasn't yet gone for any overlords. Should definitely have gone into the base to see exactly when that spire was finishing. No second gas. There's Scourge out now to chase that to chase away the Corsair, and some Mulisks are coming out. Plenty of Sunken's gonna be morphed here pretty soon. Well, I certainly hope so, because Zealot speed is now down. 7 Zealots moving out. They're busy being morphed. +1 should be done as well, which it is almost. Yeah, just about to finish it. Engaging just before +1. So taking a bit of... but still definitely dealing with those Zerglings fast enough. But the Mulisks are gonna... between his Mulisks and the Sunken colonies, definitely gonna deal with those Zealots quite easily. Another two moving up here. Doesn't see a third location. Not sure if he's scouted that Hatchery Cake is actually gonna be turtling up on this side of the map instead. And with Mulisk out, there's not and this kind of defense, there's not really much that these Zealots can get done, so they're just gonna head back home for now. I think this wall here, usually when I have the Hydralisk den just underneath the hatchery, like one square underneath at least, or like in a straight line, so that you can either build your Sunkens down there or make them along that way. So meanwhile, okay, so Mulisk's coming in, trying to get some probes in. There are cannons down, it's just one. 5 Mulisks can take out a cannon. Ooh, nice storm on those Mulisks, but and doing plenty of damage, so they really won't be able to harass into these cannon defended mineral lines. And we see that another two is with the Mulisk out, another two resuming his Corsair production, adding another cannon into the main. This area might be a little bit vulnerable though, but Corsairs should be able to deal with that. Hydralisks are being produced, speed is done. The 4th base has now been taken, and this is gonna kind of put another two on a bit of a clock here. He's gonna have to start moving out and pressuring Zerg very soon, otherwise Hatchery Cake's just gonna be free to drone up all 4 of these bases. So Hydralisk's gonna try and poke a bit at the wall, maybe see if he can knock down the gateway and forge. Might be a bit late for that now, especially with all these Templars out. But we do see more Hydralisks coming in. The 4th base is now saturated as well, and the 3rd. Nice amount of drones pretty much everywhere. Could maybe have 2 more in the main there. Other than that, there's a really nice big economy for Hat-Trick Egg, and another 2 not looking in a good position at all. Being pretty content. Not really. This is not a hard cut contained by any means. Oh, big storm on those Hydras. Taking out a lot. Always have to be very careful having a Hydras in front of the base. It's very easy for them to just die to like 2 storms. Ooh, Templar moving out, and how did that storm not hit him? He gets taken out eventually anyway, but I was amazed that if that was my Hydra, that Hydra would have been dead. I guarantee it. Overlord coming in, but it's gonna get taken out by the Corsairs here. And so Hat-Trick X hasn't taken either of his other 2 gases. Just looks like he's massing up quite a few Hydras. Though he does quite a bit of minerals in the bank. Maybe could do with a bit of SH spam there. Lurker aspect is about halfway done at the moment, and another 2 deciding to take his 3rd base, but not really being proactive with his army. So Hat-Trick Egg is still kind of just free to build up pretty much as much as he wants, really. Those last mutants do go down, but does see that another 2 is still kind of just parked outside his 3rd, and I don't think Hat-Trick Egg could have any problem with this, especially if he's able to get away with this base, which definitely hasn't been scouted yet, and we should start to see some drones come in here soon enough as well. As you can see, 46 drones. Excuse me, 46 drones to 47 drones to 48 probes. But being on 4 bases, that's not in any way equal mining. All these drones at 4 different bases compared to just 3 here, be mining a lot more efficiently. And it looks like another 2 is going to try and sneak a 4th base of his own. But I really do think that, okay, now he's starting. Another 2 feels his army is big enough now. He's going to start moving out. He's going to need to bring these Templars along with him. Yep, there they go. Nice large amounts of Dragoons, plenty of Zealots. Upgrades are at 2-1, so he's ready to go. +3 is about halfway done, so very well keeping up with those upgrades. But now, because he's delayed pushing out quite a bit here, and Lurkers are now finished, even though they were quite late for what's generally like in this kind of strategy. Usually when you're defending, you're gonna get your defending 4 bases off of 2 naturals. You want to get the Lurkers up much faster, just to be able to push them out, because if his army had moved out, it would have been a lot harder for Zerg to defend. But now there's just so many Hydras, so many Lurkers out here. It's going to be really difficult to push through that. However, there's virtually no way to defend this base now that well, because Analysis was just able to move straight up both of these high grounds. If you're going to take this base, it's really not enough to just hold the bridges. You have to hold the high ground as well. It's really what allows you to secure the space down here. You see a couple of Lurkers moving in. Zealot's going to go take out the Sunken Colony, and meanwhile at the same time, some of Hat-Trick's army getting dragged into the big ball of Protoss here. Lots of Zerg just going down to their death, but all the Zealots are going to be taken out. Once they're all taken out, they're not going to fare too well. That's just not enough Dragoons, even for that amount of Lurkers. No no storms to deal with those clumped up lurkers either. Then Hydra's also coming from the back, gonna flank the army, and another two's army has basically been entirely reset here. He does have his fort rate isn't saturated yet, and so it's still basically on 3 bases to Zerg's 5, and it's looking pretty grim here for Protoss. Adricake wisely sending some Zerglings to the bottom, the most logical place for Protoss to expand in these positions. But instead it's actually expanded here on the 3 o'clock position. So these Zerglings not going to see what they were hoping to see. A couple more coming down here. Going to double check this base. They do find probes being transferred in with some cannons, and I expect there will be a lot more Zerg heading in this direction very shortly. So the cannons do go down. The Reavers here not quite done yet. Zerglings trying to focus down this Nexus. Dragoons coming, but it doesn't look like they're going to be in time. And the Crackman is just taking out that Nexus way too quickly for just Dragoons and probes to deal with. So that's going to really set another 2 back quite far in his economy. Now being down to just 3 bases, effectively 2 bases to Adricake's 5. Meanwhile, defilers should be out somewhere. Ultralisks are on the way as well. Here's the cavern. Titanus plating almost done, and you can see there's quite a huge bank here. But supply blocked at the moment, but way ahead in supply over another 2. Another 2 gonna move out to try and take another base. You see these probes haven't been reset to mine at another base, so they're just gonna be long distance mining here for a while. Pretty dangerous. Adricake still sending his Zerglings around the map, just making sure that there isn't any other bases, that he's not aware of. And sitting comfortably on his 5 bases, building up his Ultralisks. Probably going to go for a killing move soon. But we don't see any upgrades on the Zerglings. I think the sheer numbers will be more than enough. There is a Reavers are good against Ultralisks, but not at 5 to 1. And this base is definitely going to go down. I think the Dragoon Templar will eventually take them out, but 3 more Ultralisks coming in. Nice storm on the Ultralisk. The Zealots not doing too much. Titanus plating is finished. Here we just start to see the waves of Adricake's macro just pouring into this space, and I don't think I don't think that that another 2 is ever going to be able to take another base like with this amount of Zerg on the map, and GG. Let's go into game 2 and see if another 2 has a chance, or not has a chance. Let's see if another 2 can bring this back 1-1. In the 12 o'clock position, the Teal Protoss once more, we have another 2. And in the I guess 4 o'clock position, or 5 o'clock, you have battery cake. Battery cake sending his overlord towards the, I guess this is somewhere between nearest main and its natural. Another 2 putting down his pylon, getting ready to take an early expansion. It's also going to be able to scout Hatchery Cake right away, so definitely have the opportunity to put his cannons and Nexus, or Nexus and cannons down exactly the way he would like to. It's a 3-player map, so the distances are not very long, but they are not incredibly short either, like they would be on, say, Fighting Spirits, when you're on the same side of the same edge of the map, or I guess anything but cross positions. Sees the overpull timing and gonna get ready to just another 2 just block Hatchery Cakes' hatchery for as long as he can. Oh, but he decides to go in just as the drone is coming out, so does lose that opportunity to slow down the hatchery a bit. But we'll get to see how many lings are being made. I don't know if he was watching closely, you might have seen that those eggs morphed just before the pool was done. I don't know if he had vision of the pool. Should now... no, he's a bit too far away to see if those zerglings are made. So, does have to still put... so it looks like he didn't... does still put his cannon down before his Nexus. Couple zerglings out now, just 4 zerglings gonna try and chase down this probe. Another overlord heading towards the natural, gonna keep an eye and make sure that there's gonna be no zerglings coming out. And Hatchery Cake taking his 3rd base at the mineral only. And going for his gas immediately afterwards. We'll see if Hatchery Cake decides to go with his lair bolt once again. Won't be able. It's not going to really be able to do that 4-base total style on this map. So it's going to have to figure something out. So nice block here by Hatchery Cake to his main entrance. Gonna keep another 2 guessing, and we'll see if he's going to put down his Hydralisk spin. 50 gas coming up. Okay, so it looks like he is going to go for his lair. Wait? No, okay, so he's going for Hydralisk then. Really do want to get that Hydralisk then down as soon as possible if you're gonna go for it like that. Oh, this drone hiding behind the minerals. Sleeping on the job here. That's very unfortunate. Very easy to miss something like that. Finally, okay, so he does Hatchery Cake kicking that drone back into action. Overlord out here, looks like it's taken some cannon damage. Meanwhile, a couple of probes sitting idle. Another 2's gonna want to get those mining ASAP. A couple zealots out. I'm not sure about this wall. I'm pretty sure that that's a gap, and that's a gap. And there's no space to build cannons here, so it makes me wonder, does Hatchery Cake know his Protoss walls? And seeing this odd arrangement, he's going to try and try and do a Hydra bust based on what he saw there. So you can see there's no space to put any cannons behind here. This is definitely just one square, one hex, and the most you can possibly put down is one, maybe two, and then behind there. And being just behind the forge here, it makes it quite easy for Hydras to, or 7 or 8 Hydras to just walk up, right up to the forge, and then snipe those Hydras. These Hydras, so engaging the Zealots out here in the middle of the map, but Speed Hydras, even in equal numbers, can kite slow Zealots very, very easily. Hadricake moving in, and this is just what I'm talking about. Goes in, snipes that cannon right away, gonna pull back for now. Zealots are trying to engage, so Hadricake pulling back, doing some nice kiting, but meanwhile his mineral count is getting quite a bit high, so he's having to make has had to make a lot of sacrifices to get these Hydras out so quickly. He needs to spend his money, otherwise he's just going to end up being behind. Even his Protoss is kind of happy to spend that money on those cannons. Okay, maybe not now. See, here's the thing about it. Now that he's kind of forced to build cannons in the front, but Hadricake Hydras, only two Hydras engaging there, getting picked off by the cannons and the Zealots. Ooh, this looks like... Ooh. Ouch. Yeah, these Hydras can't engage. Hadricake needs to pull back here, but meanwhile behind this, we see a 4th base taken. But as for drones, there's the natural is half saturated, the 3rd is a quarter saturated. So he has the 4 bases up, but it definitely doesn't. But it's not quite a. Well, it's not nearly a 4 base economy just yet, and looks like some of the rally points are being sent across the map here as well. Gonna have to move those drones back. So Hadricake transitioning back into drones. He feels safe with the amount of Hydras that he has at the moment. He's getting his lair, he's getting a 5th hatchery, and basically just droning up. Meanwhile, we have Storm is almost done for another 2. 2 Templars are on the way. And Hadricake deciding not to put a lot more pressure, or not to put too much more pressure on. I don't think he might get this cannon, but that's about it. But so that's why you really want to make sure with your Warlands as Protoss that you really have enough space to, if possible, build cannons in front. Have 3 rows of cannons, or up to 3 rows of cannons in some places at least. So Zealot speed now finished. +1 also finished. Another 2 is going to move out with this group, healthy group of 9 Zealots, except for this guy. He's not too healthy. And there's no defense here at the 4th base, and he's going to be able to just run in and just kill every single drone. No Hydras at Cynthia. These Zealots managed to get here fully unscouted. It's going to take a while. Oh, these are drones. The Hydras are coming, but Storm is going to be here too. And so this is the nice big Storm, but still getting quite a bit of damage on the Zealots. This is the danger with massive Storm on the ramp there, doing huge damage, and This is going to set Hattrick Cake way back in this game. This is the really difficult thing about this 9734 kind of world is that, and okay, so Hattrick Cake decides to tap out there, and GG. Yeah, the really difficult thing about a 9734 type play is just defending 4 bases. Like, there's so many different places that Protoss can attack, and even though if you manage to defend it, you get up a really good economy, but you have to be so on top of every move that Protoss makes to be able to get those 4 bases up and running without having to spend way too much defending them, throwing Sunkens down left, right, and center. So this match is now tied up 1-1, and we will be going into our game 3 once more. Let's see who will take this last match between these two teams and players. In the bottom left, we have Hattrick Cake in the dark blue, and in the top left, we have another 2 as the teal Protoss. Nice mining on these drones, making sure they're getting straight into the corners. Another 2 putting down his pylon, scouting out immediately. And looks like, so we will probably see the Forge once again. Just, I'm guessing, just sticking to what he knows best. And going gateway can be really difficult on both sides. Overpull from Hattrick Cake. We're going up to 11 drones, yep. Forge is coming down from another 2, as expected. Hattrick Cake will get probably the best scout. Yeah, basically the best scout is when your Overlord gets there first. Spawning pool about to finish, and the hatchery is going to go down, so we won't see 6 lings running across the map immediately. Instead he's just going to build 2 for now, and 2 more drones. We're just sticking with as much economy as he can get. And another 2. Actually putting that Nexus down before cannon, a little bit blind, but he will not be punished for it in this game. And Hattrick Cake looks like he's going with his game 1 strategy on circuit breakers to take the main on this side and turtle up and get up to that massive 4 base economy as soon as he can. puts his overlord outside the natural here. He does have the lings here, so maybe this is the overlord that came through. I mean, there's actually no reason to not go into the main if you are gonna go for Spire, which I think if he's gonna play the same strategy he played in game 1, you know, if it works, it works. And there it goes, yeah, so there goes the leg gets started. I do think it is good to having the overlord in the main, just seeing how fast the cybercore is. I know there's like some timings where if your spires started at a certain time and their core started at a certain time, or your layers finished at a certain time, then your overlords will be safe from your scourge will be in time or not. I can't remember those exact timings. But what is nice is that they're relative timings, so you don't have to remember the numbers on the clock. I don't play 3-edge Spire myself, so I don't know them. So we see it's gonna go. Another 2 is getting +1 right after his Stargate, and has to be careful of these gaps here. I think that might be impossible. Also, again, this is going to be another gap that could actually be closed if the gateway was just a bit. I think it would go here with the forge in the same place. Maybe the pylon just slightly over to make space. And Hatchery putting down his 4th hatchery so far, and 5th, and will probably take this base with his 6th hatchery. Zergling speed almost about to finish, Spire just getting started, and the Spire's just a little bit started, but the Corsair is about to finish, so there should be quite a window once more for another 2 to actually take out some overlords and just slow down Hatchery Cake just a little bit. It might even be quick enough to get 2 overlords. Like, definitely can see. Okay, he's gonna go scout across the map just to see that he's taken the space. Sees the overlord over there, heading down to this base, but not gonna find anything here. He needs to go. Really needs to go and see exactly what Zerg is up to. Really has no idea at this point what's coming. I don't think there's been a probe in the base for quite a while since the early game. So here comes the Corsair. We'll scout very defensive position here. Sunken's up. And probably gonna expect much similar kind of strategy as game 1. I mean, it is the same strategy. Except this time, actually, deciding not to go for any Mutalisks. Getting his Overlord speed, +1 hasn't started yet. Hydralisk speed has started. See some Scourge on the way. So another 2 missing out on some potential Overlord kills there. Okay, there we see +1 coming. And the 4th base and 6th hatchery coming down, and another 2 scouting that is exactly what's happening. Decides to move his zealots back. I guess he can't really put damage onto any of these bases. So I think the goal here for Protoss is to basically stop Zerg from being able to move out too easily. You don't want to push hard into any one location because you do run the risk of getting flanked from the other side. But I think another 2 might just be a little bit too passive. He's getting his Templars out. He's getting his +1 armor, but this time he's putting down a lot of gateways. 4 to 8, so a total of 9 gateways coming down. Some Hydra's gonna try and poke in here, see some Zealots. Some gonna get drawn in, another 2 pulling back. Doesn't want to take damage unnecessarily. So they could fight this. It's only 6 Hydralisks, but you can't see up here, so he has no idea just how many Hydras are sitting behind the 6. In this case, it happens to be none. Hydra's heading back home. Home number 2. Second home. I guess this is kind of like Hatchery Cake's holiday home. Some units are on the map scouting, but for now both players sitting back, building up their colonies, building up their armies. Dragoon's starting to come out now for sorry, is that better? Sorry, Dragoon's starting to come out now for another 2. Yeah, sorry, my mic was a bit off. Not off, at a bad angle. Okay, so another 2 taking out his own gateway. Definitely doesn't want to be going single file into an arc of Hydralisks. Ooh, that's a very nice storm. Taking out 6 Hydras immediately, and the rest will be cleaned up very easily by all these speed zealots coming out here. There are a few more Hydras out the way, but now these zealots are starting to get drawn away from the army. There's still enough to fight alright, but not quite as efficiently as if they were able to fight alongside these Templars and Storms and Dragoons. So both players still macroing up their armies. Hatchery Cake up to 82 supply, and another 2 at 120. So normally if this was 3 bases, I would say it was pretty even, but I definitely have to put Hatchery Cake in a better position here, with being on 4 bases and an extra one, a 5th base coming out, and another 2 just not moving out on the map with his army. I mean, he really does need to do something with these units, otherwise Hatchery Cake is just free to take over the entire map. He does now have a roughly 40-ish supply lead, which is a bit better, and it looks like he's comfortable for now to just slowly move out and take his bases one at a time. He's gonna take out this Ling, probably get that probe and put his Nexus down. But it does get scouted, so Hatchery Cake gonna start moving out some of his forces. Just a small contingent, but there's plenty of army here. They're gonna, those 2 nice storms, taking out most of the Hydralisks there, and there's no way Hatchery Cake's gonna be able to deny that expansion attempt with such a paltry force of Hydras and Lynx. Lurkers are done now. Triple upgrades are on the way as well. +1 missiles is finished, and no melee damage just yet. But with Lurkers on the way, once again, it's going to get really difficult to do any damage onto these bases with all the Lurkers and sunken colonies. There's not that many here right now, but as we saw in game 1, there was tons of Lurkers and things. Ooh, where's the Observer? Is there an Observer? The Observer seems to be lacking behind. The entire army taking tons of damage from these Lurkers, and that's... army is definitely big enough, but he's going to be forced to move back. He loses a Templar as well. Okay, finally Finally, here comes the observers, and this, well, so it looks like they'll, another two will be able to get a bit of damage done here, but there's quite a bit of Hydras, Lurkers, and Zerglings coming in. They're gonna go, deciding to go for the expansion base instead of defending his own natural expansion. I'm not sure that that's the best choice, because if this once this breaks, there's really not much left. There's really nothing left to stop another two just going straight back into the main. There's no probes here, and now these units really need to come back and start defending and to do a huge flank on this army. So another two definitely okay with losing that base, but we'll see. Hattrick Cake's now going to try and attack into the main. There are Templars here, but there's also plenty of reinforcing Zealots and Dragoons. The natural expansion for Hattrick Cake now completely destroyed. And all the tech for Hattrick Cake is going to be exposed to this huge Protoss army. Another two also leaving. Looks like he is going to move into some, but he might want to moving them into a clustered defensive position here, and it looks like the main and natural is going to be completely destroyed for Hattrick Cake. There is a counter contain here on the other side of the map at another two's natural. A couple lurkers here, but not all that many. Some more Zerglings and another group of Hydras coming in, but the tech is completely reset now for Hattrick Cake. You won't be able to get any more upgrades until at least Lair is done, and even then. So he's rebuilt the spawning pool and Ultralisk Cavern. Rebuilding the Ultralisk Cavern. That spawning pool will eventually go down, but he's lost his Hydralisks then and most of his other tech. Lots of lurkers being morphed outside the base here, but the army is still pretty intact. Oh, not if he moves through burrowed lurkers like this. Another two now spotting this base, defended by 3 Sunkens, but that's definitely not going to be enough for all these Dragoons and Zealots to handle. They'll take care of that fairly easily. Some Lings coming in to try and defend, but they're just gonna get killed there. On the other side, the Hattrick Cake definitely doing quite well to stop any reinforcements from easily moving out of another two's natural. So as far as map control goes, this is pretty much the only army that another two has, and he's starting to beat away at this hatchery in the front. More Zerglings being made, but Hattrick Cake is he's lost 3 bases, and looks like he's falling really far behind now. And it looks like despite everything, even though he is doing this contain here, looks like these Zealots are going to get murdered by those lurkers, but I don't think it matters, because the very last of Hattrick Cake's remaining economy and hatcheries, only just 2 hatcheries, almost no production left compared to another two's 9, 12, or 10 gateways, and desperately throwing down some sunken colonies, trying to stay in this game. This is the last of a best of 3, and he's gonna put down, and this will definitely delay another 2 for a little bit, but the contain is completely broken for all intents and purposes. These will be able to delay this army, but just down to 4 drones now is Hattrick Cake. It's not looking good for our Zerg player here. second to last Ultra going down. What? No, I don't. And well done to another 2. So GG. So another 2 takes that one 2-1 over Hatchery Cake. And so we have, so in our games today, that'll be 2 matches to SKT4 and 1 match to Team R.A.T.S. Definitely tune in for the other casts. If you can't tune in at the time, there should be on Twitch long enough, and they will all pretty much get eventually. They will all eventually get uploaded to the Coach-Pupil League channel on YouTube as well. I hope you all enjoyed the cast. These are some very good games, some very some longish games, a couple of very short games, but I thought they were quite exciting nonetheless. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. It's evening here for me, down in Cape Town, South Africa. Just gone 8 o'clock now. So, cheers everyone. Good night.